Tai Lopez and his team invited me into his community to teach about faceless social media, and in this community people pay hundreds if not thousands of dollars to be in there. And in this video I'm going to give you guys the full replay of exactly what I taught in this live call for totally free. Now this video is probably going to be something that you guys aren't too used to on this channel. There's going to be no edits, there's going to be no music, it is simply just going to be me giving as much value as possible as I can for the next hour. So with all of that being said, make sure you've got a notebook at the ready and let's get straight into the live training. So what we're going to cover today, basically I'm going to go over who I am and why you guys should hopefully listen to me, and then also how to grow on faceless social media, because of course we need to grow before we can actually go ahead and monetize our pages. Then I'm going to cover how to monetize our faceless pages and discuss the strategies that I've used to make thousands of social media, and then a Q&A, and then page review and case studies, because I like to show what other people have been doing, because obviously success leaves clues. So that's basically what we're going to cover today. Should be a good one. I hope you guys get some value from it. Right, okay, so who am I? This is me. I was actually at a TikTok event recently. I got invited to it by TikTok. They saw what I was doing on YouTube and they invited me to an event. So that was pretty cool. Got some insights from TikTok there. And then these are some of my accounts. So this is my Instagram account, Millionaire Aesthetic. I've been running this for just over 2 years now. And then this is my TikTok, which I actually initially started on, which has 569k. I've not been posting that as of recent. This account is one that I actually grew for a YouTube series, so if you guys are interested after this call, you can check out my YouTube and you can literally see me growing this page from zero. I show the whole process, how much money I made, how I've done everything. And actually a fun fact with this series, if you guys have seen a similar logo to this on TikTok, it's probably because they watched my series. There's been literally over 10 to 20 pages that I know have over 100,000 followers on TikTok because they watched my series, and I showed people how easy it was. So I literally just got a stock logo from Adobe, so loads of people copied that as well. But yeah, if you ever seen a logo like this, likelihood is they watched one of my videos. And then yeah, this is my YouTube, which has 28,000 followers, and it's obviously all talking about social media and how to grow on social media, and primarily faceless social media, because that is where most of my experience lies. Right, so these are some things that I have achieved. So on that page that I did document on YouTube, in a 60-day period, I managed to get over 219 million views on that page. So yeah, that was a pretty cool. And then in August, I managed to grow on Millionaire Aesthetic. This is over 30,000 followers, and this was literally taking me, guys, less than 10 minutes a day because I was using a strategy that we'll talk about later. But yeah, the strategy is working really well right now. So yeah, and this literally took me no time at all. I'm still using this strategy till this day. And then these are some of the stats that I've made from my faceless pages, selling digital products. So these are separate pages. So yeah, some stats from that. And then this is some money I made with the creativity program in a 5-day period. Actually, this was £8,000 in 5 days. But with the creativity program, a little bit, what's the word? Not so stable, so it's a bit on and off with that right now, but yeah, some pretty cool things I've done with that. So hopefully I give you guys enough reason to listen to me and you can learn some things off me today. So I'm going to be going over what I call the social growth system, and this is the step-by-step formula I have used to grow multiple TikTok accounts to over 500k, like I just showed you, and then my Instagram accounts over 300k, and I've also helped many others do the same. I actually had a DM recently from a guy with 1 million followers, and he was like, I used to watch your video, I watch your YouTube videos, I'm just coming back to say thanks. So that was a pretty cool, I guess, testimonial. And then obviously a second part is monetizing that page so we can make money with these pages, as of course everyone wants to make money. So first of all, we need to find a winning niche. I'm not sure what you guys know or don't know. I'm sure there's some new people in here and some not. So I'm going to try and cover everything, just so I can help out everyone that is in here. So of course, we all know what a niche is. I'm pretty sure that is just basically where you're going to have a certain subject that is you're going to make your page about. So for example, with my page, Millionaire Aesthetic, it is all about making money and sort of a luxury lifestyle, and it attracts those kind of people that are interested in that sort of thing. Now, when I say a winning niche, this is something that is important because it makes it a lot easier to grow. So how it feels to be in a bad niche, this is how it feels. Obviously, you're pushing a boulder up a hill, and these are going to be niches that just aren't really trending right now, and it's going to be harder to grow your page in that niche, of course. And then in a winning niche, it can feel like you're pushing a boulder down a hill because the niche is doing well. It's a lot easier to get started with. So how do we go ahead and find winning niches? We need to make sure that there are new pages growing fast in this niche, and there are many ways that we can find out this. I'm going to talk about a little bit later, but you want to know that there are, like I say, new pages growing fast, because this is how we know this is a winning niche, because there won't be pages that are dated. For example, meme pages, like meme pages can do well, but it's a bit of a niche where there's so many massive players now that it's going to be harder to grow in. And then we want to see there is a lot of engagement on these posts, as if there is a lot of engagement, it clearly shows that this niche is doing well and people are interested in this niche right now. And then you want to go ahead and see if you can put your own spin on it. This was actually how I managed to grow my page, Millionaire Aesthetic, to about 90,000 followers in its first 2 months. And that was simply just because I saw a niche that was doing well, and I managed to find a way that I could put my own spin on it to make it original. And when you do that, it has a great chance of going viral. And then finally, we want to make sure we know what our long-term objective is, because we don't just want to grow a bunch of pages and not make any money. So you've got to have that idea in your head beforehand, as this is where a lot of people go wrong. It's good that they start and they just grow a page, but then they get a little bit lost with their vision and how they're going to make money. I see this quite a lot. So this is something that I would really emphasize on. But at the same time, you want to be careful because you don't want to overanalyze this part and get stuck and not even start growing a page. You can always monetize down the line. And personal preference, go into a niche that you can enjoy, because if you enjoy growing the page and you enjoy the process, you are much more likely to stick at it, especially because it's probably going to be a few months before you make any money. So I'll definitely make sure that it's something you enjoy. Now, the second part is to create your profile and warm up your page, but mainly curate your profile. This is something I don't hear too many people talk about. I'm curious to know actually in the chat if any of you guys have heard about this. But it's basically, obviously, curate means just to be in charge of and basically, you know, be in charge of what's being shown. And then in social media terms, you're only going to engage with content that is going to help you understand and learn more about your niche. So I'm going to show you guys some examples now. So this was actually a screenshot that I took from earlier today of my page, Millionaire Aesthetic. So this is my search feed, and this is just full of content that is similar to what I post, right? It's luxury content, and therefore is going to make it way easier for me to go and create posts on my page and get inspiration for posts and just keep on track of what is going on in social media. I can see what's doing well, what's doing not so well, and it's just going to help you out so much. So, and this is the same for TikTok and Reels, by the way. If I went and showed you one of my TikTok things, it would be exactly the same. I would scroll, and 9 or 8 out of the 10 scrolls would be content that relates to what I'm posting. Because if you do this, then it just means you can go on your page for like 10 minutes a day, and you're going to have a bunch of viral video ideas, and it's going to help you stay on top of your niche. So yeah, you want to be making sure that 90% of the content you are shown is useful and is not going to waste your time. So for example, to show you guys once again, this is my page, Millionaire Aesthetic. As you can see, this is the kind of content that I am posting, and this is the kind of content that is on my search feed. It is very similar, meaning that I can get ideas from here and then repurpose it to make it my own. So how do we achieve this? You're only going to follow pages that are in your niche and they are good. And another key point here is to try and follow pages that are ideally growing, growing and they're quite new, because if they're new, then that means, and they're growing fast, that means they're doing something right. And also it means they're more relatable to you. For example, my page might not be as relatable to some of you guys because it is at a point where it's at 300k followers. Whereas a page that has 10k followers, you can take a look at them because they don't have that many followers, meaning that their strategies are probably going to be more similar to what you guys may have if you have a smaller page, for example. Then the next thing you need to do is you want to interact and engage with good content in your niche, and you only want to do this. So for example, when you're on the search feed, you're only going to engage with the content that is similar to yours. And this way your search feed is going to be full with that type of content, like we saw back here with my pages, because I only engage with this type of content. That leads us onto our next point, which means any content that isn't useful, we're just going to scroll past because it is not going to be of any help to us. And the more we engage with that content, so let's say, I don't know, it was gardening content and I found it exciting, I started engaging with it, then my search feed and my Reels tab would be full of gardening content, which obviously isn't going to help me with my particular page. And then fourth, we want to just repeat this, and we don't want to pick up any bad habits. Now, with that being said, of course, I'm not going to be a killjoy here. If you guys do want to enjoy social media, that is fine. And you want to scroll around and have fun, totally fine. But make sure you do it on your own personal account so it doesn't affect your pages. Right, okay, cool. Step number 3 is going to be to create content. So obviously, we need to create content to grow. And there are a few ways that we can go about doing this. And this will depend on many factors, such as what platform you're on. Obviously, for example, on Shorts, you can't post picture posts at all. It's going to depend on our niche, and it's going to depend on our plan for monetization and things like that down the line. Now, Reels are great for growth on Instagram, and particularly they're great for growth when we are starting a brand new page. However, with that being said, like I'm going to get onto in a second, I've adopted a different strategy recently that I think would be quite insightful for you guys. And how can we go ahead and make Reels? So of course, we just want to use a video editor. I recommend CapCut because it's nice and easy. I use this. I've managed to grow pages to the sizes I have just using CapCut, and it is free, although now some of the features that are pro features you're probably going to need. And then, of course, you can get a bunch of tutorials on YouTube. If you guys want to check out my tutorials for free on my YouTube, you can check out Joe Sabiti on YouTube. I've got a bunch of tutorials on there for totally free. So yeah, you can check those out, and then you can just learn to edit yourself. That's how I did it at the beginning. Learn by doing is the best way to learn. And now, like I say, carousels are back on the rise. So this is actually how I've been growing my page recently, and this is why it takes me less than 10 minutes a day, because to be honest, this type of content is so easy to make. I just have to go and find good content that I like, save it, and then I'm going to curate it into making it my own separate carousel that is different to other people's. Now, with that being said, as you can see here, this one is a post that done very well. And one thing I have noticed recently that is a good thing for you guys to note is that carousels recently have been getting a way better conversion from viewers to followers than Reels have. I'm not too sure why this is. I think personally it's maybe just because for the longest time people have been focusing on Reels. Therefore, everyone is now posting Reels and people are maybe getting a bit bored of them, or they're less inclined to follow them, or people buy Reels because of the fact that there is so much volume and so many pages you can follow for Reels. Whereas this type of content has kind of been left alone, and it's starting to come back. I've seen it on a bunch of different pages. There's a bunch of different styles that we can do. What's a carousel? Okay, perfect. A carousel. Sorry, guys. So a carousel is just a post, as you can see here, but it's when you're going to have multiple pictures. Okay, and the reason we want to do it as a carousel and not as a singular post is for a few different reasons. But I was actually listening to a podcast this morning with this the CEO, I think, of Instagram. Anyways, this guy called Missouri, pretty good guy. Obviously, he's very hype at Instagram, and he was saying that carousel posts perform better than picture posts because of the fact that, firstly, if someone scrolls past your carousel, so let's say you have followers or you don't, and someone scrolls past your carousel, they don't like it, then because it's a carousel and there's multiple pictures, they are more likely to be retargeted for that same post with the second picture of that post. So, for example, if I was scrolling on my page and I didn't like this post and I scrolled past it, then maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes later, they might show me this exact same post, but instead of this being the first picture they show, they would show the second picture, meaning that there's more chances for you to engage with this post. Secondly, another key point with carousels right now, because this is a really good way to grow. Actually, a question here. Carousels, are carousels good for small accounts that want to grow? I'm going to cover this in a second. That's a great question. But the second point I wanted to cover here with carousels is you want to add music to them, because if you add music to carousels and they are pictures, they can actually show up in the Reels feed. So this is something else that is pretty new update to Instagram, but I have seen carousels in my Reels feed, and I know some of mine have been shown in the Reels feed. So that is why I want to use carousels and not singular posts. First of all, because there's more chance of our followers seeing and engaging with them as they get more chances. And then secondly, because of the fact that they can show up in the Reels feed so long as we add music. How do I get a carousel? How do I get to a carousel from a new post? So you're just gonna basically upload a post, and then you'll select, I don't know how to do this exactly. Let me pull up my phone really quick. So you're gonna basically press add a new post, and then you'll be on the screen, and then in the top right, or like, I don't know how well you guys can see, but basically you're going to press that button there, and then it allows you to select multiple posts. So for example, that's picture number 2, 3, 4. Does that make sense? So you just press new post, and then you'll see recents or whatever folder you're in. Press that little square, double square in the top right, and that is that. Cool. Our carousel is good for small accounts to grow. Exactly what the CEO explained. There you go, perfect. Yeah, but I've been using this strategy way before I even heard it from him. I did actually hear that in a podcast today, though, from him. But yeah, really insightful stuff. I've been using this strategy for a while now, and it's very easy. So basically, carousel is not explicitly shown. Instead, it is a collage of multiple images for a post. Exactly. So you can do this for any niche. For example, if you're in an educational niche, Alex Hamosi has been doing it recently. I don't know if you guys know Alex Hamosi, but you can have multiple things. So the first one, and this is a really key thing on carousels, with that being said, the first picture needs to be your best picture, right? Because it works the same as Reels, like I'm going to talk about in a second, but you want to hook people in. So if I see a photo on the Explore feed that is interesting, I need it to stand out, because if it stands out, then I'm going to click on it, or people are going to click on it, meaning that my post will get engagement. So your first picture needs to be really good. And also your first picture is going to act the same as in a reel, your hook. I don't know how much you guys know about that, but your hook is basically to stop people scrolling. So your first picture on your carousel needs to be a very good one. But for example, if you're in the educational niche, it could be something as simple as, I don't know, your hook could be, I made 10K last month. Here's how you can too. This piques curiosity and is going to get people interested. And then obviously the next few posts that you post on there will then be explaining this process, if that makes sense. So there's a bunch of different ways we can do it depending on niche. Is basically what I'm trying to say.
That's interesting though. I see you guys haven't really seen too much about carousels. They're definitely very good right now. Oh yeah, and to answer that question really quickly, are they good for new accounts to grow? Yes, they are, but what I will say is for new accounts, Reels, in my opinion, are still superior because they're more likely to be pushed out. But it doesn't hurt to do both. So you could do a mix of both. Maybe do one Reel a day, one carousel a day. Because carousels typically should be a lot quicker to make than Reels in the majority of niches. I'm in the health, wealth, and social niche. So for health, I'm thinking some authentic food cuisine. Yeah, you could do a bunch of different things. You could do maybe you could do 10 of the healthiest meals and then you can have like, different meals that are extremely healthy. Or you could do a recipe and you can show people step by step. Step one, get boil your rice. I don't know, I'm not in the health niche, but there you go. That's an example, right? And you can also do videos with this as well. So that's another thing I've seen a lot of people doing recently. Instead of it just being picture posts, in your carousel, you can have videos. So yeah, maybe instead of posting something as a reel, you might try posting it as a carousel and doing it step by step. Or you could repurpose your content. Let's say you're in the health niche and you're showing people how to make a recipe or a meal step by step. What you could do is you could then repurpose that and chop it up into little segments. So step one, I don't know, cut your chicken. Okay, you'll segment that into different sections. So you would then have your carousel with your first post being how to create chicken, the best curry at home, and then you'll scroll and then it'll be step one of your little video of cutting chicken and then the next step and the next step. I hope that makes sense. Cool, right, I'm going to carry on. So I want to talk a little bit about YouTube Shorts because I have heard mostly people have been talking about Instagram and I've got experience with different things. So I wanted to cover as many different areas as I could for you guys while I'm here today. So we're going to talk about now for each platform the key metrics that platforms care about. And for shorts, those key metrics are average view duration, and this is something that is going to be common across all platforms. And that is simply because if we think of these social media platforms as a business, what do they want to do? They want to sell more ads, meaning that they want to keep people on the platform as then they have more eyeballs that they can sell to the ads. I hope that makes sense. So for all of these platforms, average view duration is really important. So you want to think about how you can be clever about keeping people on your posts. For example, a great example here on Instagram, on YouTube Shorts, whatever, if you have dialogue in the comments and people are reading those comments, then they're going to be staying on your post for longer, engaging with your post for longer. And therefore, that is going to be a good sign for your post for the algorithms of these platforms because you're spending tons of time on the post, which is then obviously going to mean that the platforms like this because they can sell more eyeballs, if that makes sense. And then also with shorts, this is actually one of my shorts. I posted this yesterday on a brand new account. The other key metric for shorts, the main two are the swipe rate. Okay, so you want to keep your swipe rate ideally above 80%. Above 70 is good, above 80 is very good, above 90 is like you're probably going to go viral. And then yeah, your watch retention is another thing that's really important. Shorts is going up to 3 minutes. It should be interesting. Yeah, it is going up to 3 minutes, but you can still post shorter ones, of course. Yeah, it is, but right now, like it's going to take a few weeks for it to fully be out. But right now, if you post a video that is vertical, and it is over a minute long, then it will be posted as a short. But when you go to post it, it won't look like you're posting a short. But yeah, 3 minute shorts are coming, so that is going to be something to experiment with. So yeah, because the good thing about like, for example, with shorts, something that is really important is making sure they're quite long because then you can have more of an average view duration, right? So now with the 3 minute shorts, it'd be interesting to see how that plays into things. Okay, right. Then for Instagram, the main things that they care about is time spent on post and the average view duration. So of course, like I say, it's going to be a bit of a common theme. And another thing that is really important that I found is saves. So obviously these are some very viral posts that I've had. This one had about 2 million views and 400,000 likes, 42,000 saves. This one is a reel, and as we can see, it's had 12 million views and it had 101,000 saves. So this is something that is really important for Instagram, and they also care a lot about shares, and the Instagram CEO was also saying this as well. And I've noticed this because when I make posts that are specific to try and increase shares, such as this one, for example, as you can see, it's about you and your bro making it. And then I also put here, tag that bro. So if you can try and increase these metrics, then that is a really good thing for multiple reasons. And once again, this is going to be something that is across all platforms. That's why I wanted to make this presentation as a bit of like a generic thing, not just specifically Instagram. Because to be honest, a lot of the skills and things that we're going to learn are transferable to other platforms. But yeah, same things. Obviously, if you share a post to your friend, then that means while it is also gaining engagement, you're also going to get another set of eyeballs or another view on your post. So shares are really important because every time someone shared this is like an extra 2,100 views for me. Then as for TikTok, main things, this is the one platform where I've noticed that likes are very important. On the other ones, I don't really notice it too much. But yeah, likes on all of these videos that have extremely a lot of views, 8.1 million, 8 million, and 7.7, they all have over a 10% like to view ratio. So that is something that is pretty important. And obviously these are on reels that have a very like large amount of views, right? Which means there's more space for, you know, metrics to go down. The average view duration on all of them is pretty good, and then the full percent as well. And then all of them have quite a large amount of shares as well. And the reason why shares are so important across all platforms, once again, if we just think of it from the business's point of view, if you can go ahead and take someone that is, you know, for example, if someone shares your video, you're bringing someone that is not on the platform most of the time onto the platform, which is extremely valuable for these companies because then they can sell ads to these people. So if you can get a bunch of shares, then that is obviously going to help you out a lot as well. And as you can see here is a reel that didn't perform as well. The average view duration is down, and yeah, just the metrics aren't as good. Cool. And TikTok Shop. Now, TikTok Shop, I'm gonna hold my hands up and say I'm not an expert with it. I've made like £500 or something profit with it. But I haven't really been trying it. It's more of a side hustle. But I did want to talk about it because when I was at the TikTok event, they were talking a lot about this. So therefore, I have information that is directly from TikTok that isn't particularly out there that I can share with you guys. So on TikTok, the main things, and this is coming from TikTok as well as my experience a little bit, but the main things they care about is conversions because, of course, you know, it's a shopping sort of section of TikTok. They want people to be buying so they can make money. They also do care about the average view duration and engagement. And when I asked them at the event, this is something I was very intrigued to hear about because with TikTok, I thought it was just about conversions, but they also want people to still enjoy the platform, of course. So these two metrics, once again, are very important. So something to think about. And this video here, once again, I think this video would have done much better. AVD. So AVD is average view duration. So yeah, the average time someone spends in it. So average watch time, same thing. So yeah, as you can see here, one that didn't perform as well. Average watch time way lower than it is here. And the full percentage that watched the full video, once again. And another thing is, of course, the commissions. So I believe this post would have probably gone more viral if the conversions were better. So this video has 137,000 views so far and has made me around £88. This video does still make sales every single day. So yeah, it makes like nothing, like a few sales a day, right? Some days it does well. But yeah, I think this video would have gone more viral if it had better conversions. Cool. I wanted to talk a bit about TikTok Shop because this is the one section of like faceless social media that I believe is not as transferable. It's like slightly different to the others. Cool. And then for YouTube, this is for YouTube long form. Obviously, I can't talk about this from a faceless point of view because while I have some friends that are very successful in that realm, I personally don't do long form YouTube automation right now. But from my own channel, what I can tell you, I have 28,000 subscribers on my own channel. The main two metrics are, once again, average view duration and then the click-through rate. And one thing I will say for the click-through rate right now, for anyone that is doing faceless YouTube, although it seems like most of you guys doing faceless Instagram, is think about it. It's not just a thumbnail. So with the click-through rate right now of YouTube, it's not just about thumbnails. It's also about the first 10 seconds to a minute of your video, because you can now watch videos before you actually click on them. For example, if I go on YouTube and hover over a thumbnail because I think it looks interesting, I then can watch the first 10 seconds without having to click on it, or I can watch the first minute without having to click on it, meaning that this is also going to play into the part of the click-through rate. So, and for anyone doing faceless YouTube, make sure that first minute is very high quality and you hook people in with a story, so then people actually go ahead and click on your video and watch the whole thing. With YouTube, I remember Tai saying podcasts are something we should do. YouTube is a recommended platform to do that. I'm doing on my YouTube channel. It's not a podcast channel, so yeah. But the good thing about podcasts is you're likely going to get people watching for quite a while, because most of the time, if you start a podcast and it's interesting, you're going to want to hear it until the end. So yeah, perfect. Right, viral video formula. So I sort of touched on this earlier, but of course, we need the hook. The hook is your first sort of like second of the video to your first, I would say almost 5 seconds of your video. And in that first little period, or even less than that, to be honest, because on these platforms like TikTok, especially, if I show you guys here, oh, I can't actually, yeah, okay, look, most 20% of most people stop watching at 0.01 seconds. On TikTok in particular, the amount of people that are going to swipe straight away is very high. YouTube Shorts tends to be better for this, and on Instagram they don't have as much data on this, but yeah, the drop-off charts on TikTok on every single video, these videos have millions of views, is always very high. But anyways, yeah, with the hook, you just want to basically get people interested in your video. Okay, cool. So the viral video formula, of course, we want to hook people in, right? So we want to get people interested in our videos, and yeah, like you need to get them interested in that first little part, otherwise they're not going to stay, they're going to scroll past your video. It means your video is not going to be favored by the platform because of the fact that obviously you're not keeping people on their platform like we talked about earlier. Then the next thing we need to do is we need the journey of the video or the story. So once you've hooked people in and they're interested, you then need to make sure that your video has an endpoint, and people can kind of tell that. So then they can go through it and watch it, and they're going to be hooked in to keep that average view duration up, which is going to help people. We're going to cover this in a bit more detail when I go over some of your pages or show you guys some of the case studies. And then of course we need an ending. Now this is probably the least important part of the video, but I still didn't neglect it because you want to make sure that your ending is good, because this is where you're going to be most likely gaining your followers and trying to get people to do certain things. So for example, if you have a very strong ending, people might leave a comment, people might share it with their friend, because it could be the little cherry on top that makes them think, this is a great video, I need to share it to someone. Cool. This is a question I get asked a lot, particularly by people that are like typically a bit older. For example, in my community, you have quite a few young people, but people that are sort of over the age of 20, I'd say, or even like sort of towards their 30s, 40s, tend to ask me this quite a lot. So I wanted to answer it. And that is, can we outsource from the start? And I would say, like, yes, you can. But what I will say is I would highly recommend against it, purely because of the fact that if you don't know how to do something yourself, how can you know if somebody is doing a good job? Like, to some extent, obviously this is only for faceless pages. In reality, of course, there's certain things where people can be much better than you, but you want to have at least a base level understanding of everything, in my opinion, before you then go ahead and outsource it to people. So you can say, okay, this is good, this is not good, or have people that you trust. But I would not outsource from the start. And another reason for this as well is because it's very hard to find people that are going to care about your thing as much as you are, meaning that your quality of videos and the amount of time and attention you're going to put in something is going to be higher than someone that is just doing it because they're getting paid. So yeah, thank you, Jeremy. Cool. And then repeat step 3 daily for months and make adjustments and improvements based on the analytics, and you will see growth that is guaranteed. What I will say here is make sure that you do look at the analytics of your posts. So for example, if you're starting a page and one video gets 10,000 views and then another one has 1,000, actually go ahead and look at those videos and try and see why that is. See if maybe this video has more shares, see if this video has a better watch time, kind of like I was doing over here, showing you guys over here, you know, this is a video it didn't do so well, and we can kind of see why if we look at the analytics. In reality, these videos have more of a chance to have worse analytics because they have more views, meaning there's more chance for people to not engage with them, and this one is still lower. So this is what you want to do. And go ahead and just critique your own stuff and be totally honest with it. And you are going to grow if you guys do this, I promise you. Perfect. Right, step 2, monetization, the part that is the funnest. I will say though on this point, especially if you're doing a faceless page, I really try and emphasize in my teachings, in my communities, whatever, is to grow your page first, so you gain that trust. And then you can go ahead and start selling, because especially when you're faceless, if it's a page like you're growing a personal brand, then you can start selling from early, because obviously you've got your face there and that is kind of your reputation, and people will trust you more because you know your reputation's on the line. If it's faceless, you don't. So I'll try and make sure you grow your page before you start selling. And plus, also, I'm a big believer that if you focus on one thing, you're going to see more results in that one thing. So if you just focus on a tunnel vision on growing at the start, then when it comes to implementing that monetization plan down the line, it's going to be way easier. Cool. So how do you actually go ahead and make money? There are so many ways we can make money. The most important thing to remember is that attention is the new currency. So getting that attention first, like I said, by growing the page is the important part. I've made money in so many different ways in my time on social media. So let me share you with them. Let me share them with you and show you how they work. And these are all methods that I personally have tried and tested, or I know people and I know for a fact they're not lying because I've seen it, that these people have tried and tested. So paid promotions. This is when someone pays you to post a promotional post on your page. I meant to say your page. So I've done these on my page, for example. If I go over here, this is Wealth. As you can see, it is a paid post. This guy has paid them to be on there. And a good tip here is to make sure that you keep it in line with your page. Try and make it similar. But the people, if you get good people buying ads off your page, they're going to do this anyway because they're going to know that if they make a post look good, then and it like a post be interesting, then they're going to get more engagement with your page. Because it's not just as simple as if I go on my page and post something rubbish right now, it's not going to get views. Like you'll get some views from my followers, but the real reason people buy promos from these pages is because they want to use it as a launch pad to basically go viral. So yeah, as you can see here, these are all still interesting posts. Affiliate marketing. So this is when you promote someone else's product or service in your bio or whatever it may be. Of course, there's TikTok Shop affiliate now, which is a form of affiliate marketing, and you receive a percentage of the money for everyone that buys through your link. So this is something that, once again, I've done with the start of my page. This is very good because you can sell somebody else's product and you don't have to worry about anything. You just get the traffic. So there's pros to it. However, cons is you're obviously building someone else's business. And at the same time, you don't have control of how good that product is, and you don't have control of how well it converts from your page, because obviously it's not going to be tied to your page. But this is a great business model and you can make some good money here. And this is some of the easiest money you'll make because I still do it today, even with my YouTube channel. I make money off of this. And it's probably something I should focus on a bit more, just plug in more affiliate links because it is so easy. I have to do nothing. All I do is recommend a product that I most likely already use. Someone will go ahead and buy that through my link and I'll get a percentage and I don't have to do anything. Then the next thing is TikTok CRP, and this is also like YouTube Shorts as well, I guess. But yeah, this is where TikTok pay you based on the amount of qualified views that you get. Like YouTube AdSense. So this is the thing that made me 8,000 in 5 days. It's on TikTok. It's a little bit iffy right now, but you can still make some very good money with it. Just the RPMs are down a bit. Like my RPM here was quite good, 70p. That's probably about I don't know, 90 to 85 cents for Americans. Maybe about 80 cents. No, probably 90. I'm not too sure, but yeah, and this is about $10,000, I believe. So you can get paid very well from this, but it is a little bit less stable, is what I would say. And of course, we have TikTok Shop Affiliate. This is something that's quite new. I've experimented with a little bit recently, and this is just affiliate marketing, but within the TikTok platform, which means that your conversions are better. But likely with these products, the commissions that you get are going to be lower. Most products on TikTok Shop affiliate, it depends what you're selling, but I've got a bunch of supplements down there that I used to sell, and you probably get £1 commission per every sale you make. So they are lower, but then you've got more potential because you can tag it to the video. Then we have YouTube AdSense, and this is the same obviously as TikTok. I messed up the words here. Same thing, it's just YouTube. With YouTube's AdSense, it is a little bit lower than TikTok's, but YouTube is more reliable. And this is for shorts, and obviously for longer form, it's different. For longer form, you get paid better. But for shorts, the RPM tends to be a bit lower than TikTok, but with that RPM, it does tend to be a bit more stable and there's less issues because with TikTok CRP, they're very strict with like original content, and they sometimes just kick people out for random reasons such as security issues. So yeah, sort of the yin and the yang there. And then selling services. So this is something that I done at the start. This is where you're going to use your platforms that you build up to promote and also act as proof for your services that you want to provide. So for example, when I was first growing my page, Millionaire Aesthetic, because I was growing quite fast, a lot of people saw that and they wanted me to help them grow their page. So a bunch of entrepreneurs, I worked with about I had about 5 different clients at one time, and most of them were entrepreneurs. Some of them were like e-commerce brands, and I was basically just creating posts for them with their content to help them grow their personal brands. And yeah, of course, my page acted as social proof that I could actually do that, because otherwise they wouldn't have reached out to me. And then at the same time, I can use that page to promote my services. So yeah, it's just a service-based business, but you're going to use your page to obviously get yourself leads. Then you can go ahead and create your own product. Now, this is one that I really like. This way, yeah, you're going to create your own product and sell your own product on your page. Now, of course, like I'm going through these very quickly. I have some more in-depth videos on my YouTube about these things. But creating your own product, there are many different ways you can go about it. You can do physical, you can do digital. The easiest one to do is digital, and that was the thing that when I showed you the screenshots at the beginning, those sales were all digital products, meaning that all of that money that I made was pretty much 100% profit because of the fact that they're digital, and also the fact that I have been selling them organically. So I haven't been running ads, meaning that that screenshot that was like $29,000 dollars or pounds, one of them, was 100% profit. So creating your own products is very good. Like for a good way to test this, for example, and this is exactly what I did. I promoted an affiliate product. When I saw that it was converting and it was doing well, I then went ahead and made my own product, as I could then be in charge of how good it was, and I just started selling that on my page. So yeah. By the way, I'm going to get to these questions in a second. I just want to quickly smash through this, then we can go on to the Q&A and stuff. And these are some examples. So this guy, in fact, actually, no, he's at 1.1 million followers now. One of my friends, I speak to him pretty often. And I know for a fact that he makes very good money with his ebook. And one thing that surprises me with this is his ebook is... It's not even something that is particularly solving a massive problem. It's more for those people that want to go above and beyond. So, for example, if you've done this in a different niche, such as a cooking niche, of course, he has a lot of followers. But if you've done this in the cooking niche, and you went ahead and make a cookbook or something that is targeted towards people trying to save time and lose weight, then that is something that solves a problem, meaning it would probably sell a bit better. This is another example, and this is like a guy that's selling his clips. So this is just going to help people make a page. I'm not sure if you've come across this, but this is also something that I have done. And then this is someone that's turned their page into a whole brand. So this is Mentality. Once I actually follow the founder of this on Instagram, he's a pretty cool guy as well. And as you can see, he is selling he's basically turned his theme page into a clothing brand. His page was all about obviously mindset and that kind of thing, and therefore he then has turned this into a clothing brand that does very, very well. And this is a business, of course, that he can go ahead and sell. So that is the one benefit to, of course, physical products, is you're more likely to create a sellable business. And it's probably a bit more scalable in that sense. But then with this business of the digital products, the benefits are way easier to get started, way easier to fulfill, and your profit margins are pretty much 100%. So yeah, definitely digital products are a really good start with. Cool. Another way you can go about monetizing is creating a community. So with my page, Millionaire Aesthetic, at the start, or not at the start, but a little bit ago, I still promote it now, but I actually made my own Discord server, and I was literally just trying to help people grow pages in this Discord server. Started it for totally free, and then I used it to go ahead and market basically a paid section where people could pay for me to help them grow their page. So yeah, starting a community is a great thing you can do. Within this community, you can also use it to sell affiliate products. You can also use it to sell other digital products. So that is a good thing about a community. I still have this community to this day, mainly marketed now with my YouTube, and it is under the social growth branding. But at the start, this community was literally called Millionaire Aesthetic, and it was all around my page. Of course, since then, I've kind of branched out, hence why it's not just about my page now, but another great way you can make money. Some examples of this, of course, are Discord, school, and then Telegram as well. You can kind of say where you have like a free chat, you give free value. I'd say this one's more as like a way to collect leads, and then you just sell them in that group. Whereas here, you can have a really cool free section, and school, you can have a free school and then a paid school. But to be honest, if I'm being honest with theme pages, I would definitely recommend doing Discord, in my opinion. Can you go a bit more in depth with that? What do you mean exactly? And with some things, like I'm not gonna go too in depth, to be honest, because I have way more in depth things on my YouTube. But if you give me an example, I can go a bit more in depth with the communities. I can in fact show you guys my Discord. I think right now I'm only showing this presentation in the Q&A. And when I do page reviews, remind me. I'll show you guys my Discord and I can give you an example. But to go over it quickly without showing you, in the Discord, you'll have a paid section, right? So I have a section where people can pay me wherever it is, $50 a month, to then join my premium section where they'll get access to certain things and they'll unlock certain benefits. So with my page at the start, although my page wasn't about growing pages, of course, I'd grown a page myself, meaning that I could teach it. So I'd market this on my page, and the good thing about my page is it's about making money, right? Or like people clearly want to make money if they see my page, because they aspire for that lifestyle, that luxury lifestyle with luxury cars and that kind of thing. Meaning that if I said join my Discord if you want to learn how to make money, I would then share with them sort of you know, the way that I managed to make money with my pages, and then I'll teach them the same. So I hope that clears up a little bit more. But yeah, I can show you the Discord and go in a bit more detail maybe in the Q&A section if we have time. Cool, right, we're getting through this nearly at the end. You can also push this towards a personal brand, and I just wanted to say this because this is something that I've done. Of course, if you want to do faceless pages and you don't want to show your face, then perfect, that's fine. But this is another way you can use these pages to go ahead and make some more money. You can push that traffic towards a personal brand. This helped me at the start of my YouTube. Now, I will say it wasn't the reason I was successful on YouTube, but obviously it does help to have that boost at the start. Yeah, so Discord is a platform. It's kind of like a social platform. It's almost like Facebook groups, you could say, for example, something like that. Basically, it's just a platform where you can cultivate a community. Same as school. This one is much newer, and then Telegram is like a chat, kind of like WhatsApp. But most people will do this kind of a community by setting up a group chat where only they're the admin, and therefore only they can message, and they'll just promote things. Or they'll just give value in that group and they'll just promote things. But this is quite similar to the feature on Instagram right now that is what's it called? It's called channels, right? Yeah, where you can create your own broadcast channel. So Telegram's almost similar to like these broadcast channels. But I suppose it's seen as a bit more private and exclusive because it's off of the Instagram platform, meaning that you can probably sell a bit more. Cool. Dropshipping. So of course you can use your page to dropship. This is actually something that I haven't done, but I know that people can do this. So yeah, and I know people that have done this, but personally I haven't done it. But yeah, it's just basically you're gonna, you know, use your platform to get organic and free traffic for your dropshipping product. I actually have a friend that used to do this a while ago, but he made some good money doing this, selling like he had a page in the sea animals niche, and he was selling like seal pillows and things like that, and he made some good money doing that. So yeah, but with that being said, the ideal goal if you were going to do this would probably be to go ahead and start a brand like this, you know. But yeah, so dropshipping, branded dropshipping. And then the other model I would say is build to sell. This is where you're going to build up pages to sell them and make a quick profit. If you're very good at growing pages quickly, you can make some good money doing this. For example, maybe you grow a page to, I don't know, 50,000 followers in the space of a month or two. You go ahead and flip that page for a few thousand, and then there you go. And then you just keep repeating. But I don't really like this model because it's not really very scalable. But I thought I'd put it out there to, you know, put some ideas in your guys' heads. For hashtags on Insta, how serious about you doing the most popular hashtags versus the ones that are actually describing your post? Honestly, hashtags don't really matter whatsoever anymore, in my opinion at least. I literally just do hashtag millionaire aesthetic because I think it's cool. It brands my page a bit, and if anyone clicks on millionaire aesthetic as the hashtag, then they're just going to see a bunch of my posts. And then I do hashtag luxury, hashtag classy. I literally just pick and choose a few to do with my post. That's how I'd go about it, but honestly, they don't really matter. And the list goes on and on. Of course, these are not all the ways you can make money. Like I say, these were just mainly ones that I know people have made money with, and also ones that I've made money with myself. And I just wanted to put this in here because like you are generally only one post away. Like it just takes one post to blow up for your page to blow up. And even like in my situation, for example, like there's been times where I've been demotivated. My page is at 200k followers, but I'm demotivated because I'm in a bit of a down period, you know, like there's always going to be down periods. However, all it takes is that one post to go viral to then get your momentum back up, and all of a sudden your page is growing very fast again. So yeah, trying to put this in here as a bit of motivation for you guys. Cool, so key takeaways. First, you need to grow the page and then you can start to monetize. Very key thing. Make sure you focus on the growth first. Second thing is take inspiration and learn from others within your niche to help you grow. This is very important as well, and I don't think I went in as much enough detail into this. But yeah, just make sure you're looking at your competitors. Like when you're curating your feed, that is what this is going to be very important for. Take a look at them, see what they're doing well. Because yeah, like I said at the start, success leaves clues. And then thirdly, there are so many different routes and ways to monetize. With that being said, I would try and have an idea of how you want to monetize at the start so you can have some sort of plan. Of course, that plan will probably change along the way, but it's just going to help you when it comes to monetizing. Cool, right. That is me done waffling for like a good 40 minutes. yeah, Q&A and page reviews. I hope you guys did find this helpful. I'll be curious to know. But yeah, we're gonna do the Q&A first, and then I'll do things like critique your carousels and critique your pages.
I hope you guys did enjoy this live call that I done for Tai Lopez's community, and I hope that you found it valuable, and I hope you took tons of things away that can help you to scale your own social media pages. Now, if you want value like this every single week from myself, or want to be in these live calls with me, then I'll leave a link to my personal community that you guys can join in the description. Now, if you guys did enjoy this video or found it valuable in any way, then make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. And let me know in the comments if you guys did like this style of video and if it's something that you'd want to see more of. Would you want to see me maybe go over presentations for YouTube videos rather than doing videos where I'm just talking from my head and editing it? Apart from that, I hope to see you guys in the next one.